us warm up ourselves a little bit, huh? Okay? So we can just sing something together. I will sing some sounds, you can repeat after me, okay? For the best effect, you can sit with a straight back. And also, you can take a deep breath. When you inhale, you expand your stomach. And then we will get the best out of our voice. Don't be shy to open your voice. Come closer, please. Now, again, we can take a deep breath. Expand your stomach. Now, once more, with more voice. Tell us, do you notice the difference when you take a deep breath and when you don't? Thank you very much for coming. We have second day of our small vocal course or seminar about the rediscovering the secrets. And as we discussed yesterday, there is some cracking here in the speaker. Yeah. It is because of the speaker or? It's the speaker, yeah. Speaker, yeah, okay. So, we were speaking yesterday a little bit about what is the secret actually. The secret is to become truly happy. The secret is to discover our treasures. Yes.
So, but before we start, we would like to ask you, did somebody do the homework?
You remember what was the homework?
I don't have anything to share.
About sitting straight, yeah. Mm. Yes.
Somebody else?
Well, I tried different kinds of breathings with Kirtan, and it really makes a huge difference if one breathes very shallow or like really deeply, stomach coming out and in. Even the voice gets better or stronger. I'm not a good singer or anything, but it just feels stronger and better with the good breathing.
Thank you so much. I mean, if you can just trust it in our work, but there is no such a thing as a bad singer.
Yes.
We're teaching for many years devotees singing in Kirtan culture, and we never met a devotee who doesn't know how to sing or doesn't have hearing. We only met devotees who never had practice, never had vocal routine with which they could open up their voice and reach their potential.
I'm thinking about the whole thing with, especially breathing, that the body and the brain does not know if you're breathing slowly and deeply because you are calm or if you just pretend to be, which is so funny. I mean, breathing the right way. I will tell you a quick story from a couple of days ago. Breathing the right way makes you calm even when you aren't. My daughter called me 2 days ago. This is connected to the breathing you're talking about. She called me 2 days ago and said, "Thank you for teaching me how to breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth." And I said, "Why?" Because I was up in a carousel that was 120 meters high, and I couldn't have done it without the breathing. And I said, "Oh, thank you for actually confirming that the breathing works." And that's the magic thing with the breathing. The brain does not know if you're breathing in a calm way and a deep way because you are calm, or if you just pretend to. It will stay calm anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah. I just had to share it when you're talking about
Wonderful,
it.
thank you very much. It's very good.
Just additional question. Do we have a third microphone which could, like a radio one, so it could walk with the devices and speak something? Not so that we would. So that we knows everything.
Is there the room? No.
Well,
Maybe for tomorrow we can arrange. So
That's okay.
so in the most stressful of situations, just breathe. In through your nose and out through your mouth, and you will calm down, no matter how the situation or how you
Of course.
wonderful, thank you so much. Your daughter is genius.
Pardon?
Your daughter is genius. Is there anyone else who would like to share any experiences?
Any experience you can share. You couldn't breathe, honestly.
Absence
Because
of
of calm.
experience
It
is
is
also
also
experience. I mean, we would just add additional thing about the breathing. Like Manaji said, it's hard, to sit straight or something. So I would like it. I mean, it's a natural position for us actually to keep our spine straight. It's natural and healthy way of keeping our body. If you look at Krishna's picture, never you will see Krishna sitting like this. Or having some crooked spine or something. He's always, open chest and keeping his shoulders straight. And actually, from the physical, physiological point of view, all our organs in the body, they connected with our spine. So whenever our spine gets a little down, so all the organs move also, and get into the natural position. So in elder years, we can get different diseases just because we didn't sit straight. And the second and third thing is, health emotions. It's not about this time. So thank you so much, and we will continue to read this homework for you, and we will have something additional in the end of this session. Thanks so much.
Test under. Test under. Test under.
Self-confidence is it's a super thing.
Test under. Test under. Test under.
Actually, when we sit straight, we feel more positive, we feel awake, we feel more active. If somebody's having the time to go and sit straight, it's oh, well, be very much.
Test
And if
under.
you sit this way, somebody's having like, come on. Yeah, this person. It really does change our attitude, just keeping our back straight.
Yeah. Sometimes we go very bad at
Test under. Test under. Test under. Test under. Test under.
And discipline comes feeling of worthiness. Worthiness when you do some discipline after getting some knowledge. And you're doing regularly something, for example, you start to see, practicing, and after some time,
Test under.
you start to
Test under.
experience, I can sing, I have nice voice, I have nice sound effect after producing, inside. It's unique, nobody heard the voice like me. Definitely, that's for sure. I already have a very special, beautiful, unique, irreplaceable voice, which nobody can change. And this is what Krishna likes. Krishna likes exactly your voice. But
Test under.
after
Test under.
knowledge, discipline, worthiness, yes, so we feel worthy.
Test under. Test under. Test
I
under.
can change myself. I can become more better version of myself. Not because someone is expecting from me, but because I'm closer to myself, to what I really am, And in this way, I'm closer to myself, closer to myself. And we will see really ourselves, we will see Krishna naturally. Like when you wake up in the bed in the morning, you see your partner in the bed, or your friend, your sister, brother, and you believe nobody's needs to tell you you have a relation with this person. You naturally remember. In such a way, when you come closer really to our true self, spiritual self, you start to remember. Like when you're having a nightmare during the dream, and you become conscious that you're sleeping, but not totally awake, you didn't open eyes, you're just a little bit in a dream world, but you become aware that you're dreaming, so you become relaxed. This is just a dream. So similarly, when we come closer to our true self, we start to feel, this is all magnet, I'm actually safe.
Test under.
And after we awaken a little bit more, we start opening our eyes a little, and we see our partner in the bed. It's here. In the same way, when we open our spiritual eyes more and more, we start to see Krishna. And then naturally, it's coming from the heart, especially from the spiritual dimension, leaning towards Krishna.
Test under. Test under.
Nobody has a push-up. It's like we were speaking last time, so we had all
Test
this
under.
volcano inside.
Test under. Test under.
Boiling,
Test under.
explode. Okay, we will speak a little bit about breathing. We will speak a little bit about
Test under. Test under.
sitting.
Test under.
Actually, we can sit here.
Test under.
Maybe only think what we need to do. It's really practical.
Test under. Test under.
Because everything will start to work when you sit straight when we breathe. Because what you said, if you sit straight, the body will start to work fully with all its potentials. Then, when you breathe nicely, the Lord Krishna said, the breathing is the greatest strength. Because we calm the mind. And someone who calms the mind, it becomes actually a strong person. Not the one who's going to the gym. It's nice to go to the gym, of course. But if you calm your mind, if you pass your mind to the heart, this is considered to be strong. If you cannot pass it to the mind, you're just a slave of habits or concepts, or different kinds of beliefs. So here we have again the main title, Rediscovering the Secret, and it's about treasures, discovering the treasures within. The verse. Sorry, we didn't finish the verse. So we reached the worthiness. Can you remember? We follow the verse. So from the knowledge, we get discipline. We get the knowledge about the painting. You start to do, and you buy some time, practice it. I can do this nicely. And then the worthiness appears. Then after worthiness, the verse explains, comes wealth. Feeling of wealth. You become rich, actually. Maybe you saw sometimes some sadhus in holy places or some people who are actually around us here, but they're happy. They really feel fulfilled. And they look like they're wealthy, like they're rich people, You understand? Yes? You have this experience. When you feel worthy inside, you feel like rich. Like you're connected with all the world. You're connected with the most richest person, the master of all richness in the world. I can tell you my experience when I was in Kirtan. I was going to what was that? I was going to shopping, and I wanted to buy carpets. I wanted to find some nice couple, my favorite carpets, and I just entered some shop there, and the person was selling there, and I was trying to bargain with him. I'm not so good at this, And then I said, please throw it. I'm also poor. You can lower price, like me, like you. I'm poor. I'm not poor. Look, it's nice here. This one actually, how can you ever be poor? This was just my pattern, wrong pattern of thinking. And at that moment, I really felt, Krishna is you. What do you need? Nothing. He's the master of everything. He has all the riches. He knows what you need. He knows what you want, actually. And then he will supply you. You just need to give yourself fully and rediscovering the secret. Not to worry about the problems so much. Sometimes when you hear about problems, we'll learn open some other ways to discover the secret. But we can feel by knowing Krishna's here, but properly connecting with you, it's not to feel fearless. And then we think, oh, I have some treasures inside. I need to rediscover them. I need to unveil, I need to dig out. Like this example from Chaitanya Charitamrita about the astrologer and the wretched person. Have you heard this? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling this example, story of a wretched person. He met some very poor person, who was rich. And he told him, there is a story about this astrologer. It was called Sarvagya, the one who knows everything. And he said to the wretched person, to the poor person, he said, you have your wealth. You have wealth. His astrologer said it. And he said, but actually, your father was very rich. He died. He didn't contact you, but he left his wealth on another place. But to find it, you need to know where to dig. And the astrologer started to tell him, if you dig to the south, I think he said, the big snake, black snake will follow you. If you dig to the north, the ghosts. I'm sorry if I made a mistake in this, the size of which who will attack you on which side. But and on the west, if you go there, you will become crazy. Your mind will turn around. Your mind will lose your mind. But if you dig just a little bit on the east, you will immediately find your treasure. Astrology. So So he showed him, actually, and he did it, and he found his treasure. So similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described, when we follow, we don't need to worry so much about the problems of life, Actually, we thinking about them to learn something, not to survive. So this is a big difference. When you're in the position of victim, and a surviving person, and or in a position of someone who's learning, okay, I'm surviving now, I'm learning, how to uncover more treasures. This struggle is helping me to become conscious of my ego. This struggle is helping me to become more better communicator, to communicate better with others. This person is helping me, this problem is helping me to find better words, and so in this way, we are unveiling, uncovering more and more treasures within us. So in this way, rich person finds his treasure, I think, he just on the east. So similarly, when we get proper instructions from the Lord, as they are, and from his disciple, from the Guru, then we unveil very easily, we discover treasures which actually belongs to us. And this is the greatest richness which we can attain in this life. And Sri Prabhupada said that all of us, we have some extraordinary gift inside. Are you aware of your gift inside? Are you doing anything with a full heart somewhere? You can give your full heart to something. So, like, what I mentioned? Sri Prabhupada did. Sri Prabhupada said all of us, we have extraordinary gifts. And to reach perfection in this gift, to train, to reach professional stage of it, to reach perfection of it, and to offer to the Lord is perfection of life. So, and Lord Krishna describes, if you don't know exactly now what I have to do, what is my special thing, then you do everything what is happening to you in the full power. You're training, you're cooking, totally present there. You're speaking with someone, you're totally present there. You're chanting, you're totally present. Whatever you're doing, do it with full power. Then slowly our richness, our treasures will start to blossom and start to appear in front of our eyes. And we can return to the. We can return. Yes, we can say. So to continue this word story that I'm going to forget. So we feel well. After well, it is said in the verse, we start to do good deeds. We really start to help others. Not because we heard I need to help others, but this time, when we feel worthiness in the heart, when we feel well, we start to do from the heart what we really desire to help others, to assist others. Probably all of us, we have this experience. We really, from the heart, we want to help others because we feel rich. We feel, not because I will now speak to this person, then this my preaching will help, that I will become peaceful. this also can be, it can be, but if it's humble. But if we force the other person just to feed ourselves, this is already not so nice. It's better, like an angel Prabhu said, first dance and chant in ecstasy, then think about saving others. Like this is a very beautiful thing. First we need to come out. Or Radhanath Swami, they often said that the best preaching is actually the good deed. And after the good deeds, verse said, we start to feel true joy. So this is very wonderful. From the knowledge, so comes discipline. From discipline, when we do something regularly, we start to feel worthiness in the heart. We start to feel fulfilled. Then after it comes well, we feel opulent. We don't need to search anymore for money because we feel poor, because we feel rich. And then we start to do good deeds. We discover our treasures, we discover our nature, we discover the way how we actually participate in this world. What is my way to help others, to support others, to compliment others, and then in this way we experience true joy. And let us remember this wonderful verse from.
I just want to say that this verse always teaches they will work if we do our duty, like the Lord Kabila in the third kind version of Bhagavad Gita states, who is full presence and Shakti and displeasure. If we do something because we are forced and we non-stop complain, we still do it, but we hate what we do. We cannot wait while we finish, and we will do something what we actually like to do. Then all those steps, they most probably will not reveal itself. Because, as we spoke yesterday, uh, it's better to live in a state of balance and act out of this feelings, attitude, rather than be in a constant state of deficit. And then, whatever we do, we kind of survive. I survive. I need just to survive this lifetime, and then I will be happy and spiritual.
Yeah.
I guess it is. I'm sure it is this way, but to spend so long time being constantly unhappy, that's not something, very healthy for us.
Also, what I wanted to ask in the beginning, I wanted that we do some kind of meditation also. And, because to understand what is really meditation, it's very wonderful thing. What do you think? Do we need to have a specific state of mind when we meditate? So to make meditation successful. What do you think? Do we feel specifically?
Relaxed mind.
It's nice. You have relaxed mind. Huh? And goodness. Humility. Yes.
Lying or transparent.
Transparent mind. Yeah.
Not trying to force other emotions to go, but just
Yeah. Yeah, this is the most important part. So this isn't a solution. Because you don't need to have specific thoughts, specific state of the mind, specific state of the body. We just need to be present and really see whatever is inside. Whether it's lust, envy, good emotions, not good emotions, calm body, disturbed body, whatever is there, you just become conscious of it. Because there is a beautiful purpose of everything that is happening. While we are trying to force another kind of meditation, thoughts, state of the body, mind, we will make lemons. And mostly it will not have meditation, we will become frustrated, we will feel frustrated, not satisfied. And if it's happening like this for a long time, we will think, this is not working. Like there is a story of a man who came to the teacher. So, man came to the teacher, and man told the teacher, I want to know, that's so true. I want to attain self-realization. And the teacher told him, okay, I was short of story. The teacher said, okay, let us dig here the hole to find water. And I said, okay, he started to dig the hole and digging for a few hours. And he said, okay, dear teacher, how long I should dig this hole? Dig a little bit more. A few days passed. Dear teacher, what to do? Go, dig in another place. And he was digging another place. And nothing was happening. A few days again, come on. I didn't come here, to dig holes. I want self-realization. Please help me. We can dig today, here, not the third hole. Okay, he's the teacher of the other business. And he was digging the hole, a few days again, and he broke the lily. He blew up and he said, you're both. You're not real spiritual man, I'm going to do nothing. And he left. And after 3 years, he returned to the master, and he said, you're all teachers, you're all folk. I don't believe any of you. And he was sitting there, and teacher approached him this person, and he said, would you like to do something for me? said, okay, what can I can do? One more thing for you. Please, take a big one more. No, please, just one more for me. Okay. After a few days, he said, nothing's happening, no water. Can you dig more? And he was digging. And after more days, the water started. And he said, oh, we found the water, yes. And the teacher told him, you see, he was digging everywhere, little bit, he didn't find nothing. Like this, he was going to visit so many teachers, so many people around, asking them superficially, digging a little bit. And like, you never find water nowhere, you never find, your pleasure, satisfaction. So the same way, when you stay in one place and dig very deep, you'll find water for sure. And you'll, satisfy your thirst. So, if you got married, if you got in this situation, dig it, till the end. That's it. Find out why I'm in this situation. Like Beethoven said, a very wonderful thing, maybe you heard this. He said, don't just do your art, but force the way to the secrets of your art. Because divine is hidden there. Very nice, he said. It's very good. So force the way into this what you already have. Let us become really grateful for what we have. First we need to feel good about ourselves. Because most of us, we don't feel good about ourselves. And therefore, whatever belongs to my life, it's not so valuable, not so worthy, not so good. So, probably the wife of other person is more better. Probably the husband of other person is more better. Probably this is more better. The grass is always greener on the other side. So here we have it. Welcome to your own adventure, to your own discovery. So we are now here on an adventure. We are on the way of discoveries, different things, and to personal success. How do you feel when you hear success word? You want success? Huh? Yes.
It's a long way to go.
Well, where?
To have success. No, because I heard Kirtan Swami said that only after 40 years of Java, he found some taste. Like, that's so long.
Yeah.
But we're still here.
There's some
Some taste.
some taste. Yeah. What kind of therapy is this?
I would like to answer your question with another question.
Yeah.
What is success for you?
How is
I think success is a very important people sometimes it might be a huge success, for example, to share food rounds of themselves, for us to work with activities to actually able to get them ready to go back to struggling with, boredom for being bored for a long time. So what is success? For one person it might be success to have the first video on track and share off with some.
Yes.
So I think success is the first word if you don't keep them in mind that success for you is something different than success for me.
Definitely. This is very important. Look, the many discussions we ask, everybody said something, and then we are on the way. Adventure, discoveries of our personal meaning, what is success? Everybody has something. So for someone is to play piano bravely, for someone is to make wonderful garlands for Krishna, for someone is to paint, for someone to cook, for someone to clean sewage.
And so it's really personal success. And if we roll a little back, what Sri Prabhupada said, he stated that everyone has an extraordinary gift.
Yeah.
And to develop it and to offer it to Krishna, that is a perfection of life. And he just counted all those things which each of us we can offer to Krishna, which we can do. And you're absolutely right. For someone, success is to be able to pay for a rent this month, and for somebody is to chant more rounds. And there is a very nice saying. It's rolling around the planet right now. let's say, mindset which people share, and not all only devotees, but just people who would like to come on another level of existence. They say that the only persons with whom we need to compete is ourselves, from who we are today. So the society is also something when we just become a little better version of ourselves every day. So we just a little better than we were before. Then it's just a matter of time when our personal success will appear.
One very successful person in the world, let's say successful by external measurements, and maybe also internal. He said, my teacher, when he started to practice something he was practicing, he said, my teacher told me only 2 centimeters separate you from success in life. It was me. Show me. And teacher said, what do you feel like this? What do you feel like this? He said, like this, I feel buoyant, my potentials are in my mind, I'm aware of them, my awareness is working on the best level in like this. Maybe it's already a little down, slow, potentials are fading away, abilities which we have. So, only 2 centimeters really separates us from success. But we think something else is needed. But really, this is really the formula. Sit straight, every day, every time. Breathe deeply, and this morning I read a wonderful verse where Krishna at the end, where he was describing his presence in this world. And he described, you can discover a presence in the world, and the last word is used adhyasa. So it means you need to think about this, what I said, without prejudices, without opinions, with without artificial impositions, without artificial statements of the mind. You just observe, without comments. So what Krishna said. And in this way, what Krishna described, we can very easily. So actually, Krishna is telling you need to unlearn to become truly learned. We have too much actually information inside of us. We have enough, more than enough information contains to frame truth. But why it's not working? Only because we miss the point. What is the point of knowledge? The point of knowledge is to uncover who am I truly. And a short example. One man was walking, he also wanted to know what is self-realization. And he saw one old man carrying big bags with loads, big huge bags. And he was walking and he thought, this person for sure can answer to my questions. And he asked him, dear sir, can you tell me what is alignment? And this person just put down his big, huge bag, very heavy bag. And he understood. Because this one was not speaking. He understood at the same time. And he understood. To reach enlightenment is to take off all heaviness, loads which we have in ourselves, which doesn't belong to us. To know really who we truly are, spiritually. And he asked him, okay, what is after enlightenment? He asked the person, and he took the bag and continued with it on his way. So actually he understood to experience enlightenment means to get rid of all false identifications that you have, all heaviness that you carry on yourself, everything that doesn't belong to you. But after enlightenment is just take this nature which you have, your body, your mind, the structure of your mind, of your body, and use it very nicely for the benefit of everything that is happening for everyone around. So this is a very beautiful example. Now we can go to a little bit to yesterday's verse. So I wrote here ancient, modern, red race after the treasure. We all chase for the treasure, isn't it? From the morning till the evening we chase them. Something was actually already here. And we can see, we remember just reading again this verse, which we read yesterday. When sun raises, it reveals everything that is situated around us. But sun didn't create nothing of that. It was already there. Similarly, light from genuine experience of the self and the Supreme reveals the true nature of our own original identity, eternally present within us. This is very beautiful verse, which tells us that we don't need to chase something from the morning to chase it, to be worthy, to be valuable, to use different masks, to be something to in front of others, to feel worthy, to feel wealthy. But actually, to reach true treasure, true wealth, through actually understanding the point which Krishna shows here. He said that, like sun when it rises in the morning, it discovers everything what is here. But sun didn't create it. In the same way, when we understand, holy God, we see actually Krishna is here. Krishna is here. There is nothing more present than Krishna actually here. Actually, we are not here. We are the missing link, like they were speaking. We are someone who is missing in different situations. So we identify ourselves with the mind, with the countless thoughts which are aimed randomly in the mind. So we cannot catch ourselves because they're constantly changing. But when we pass through the mind to our heart, slowly then we revive our treasures. And shortly, we'll share with you a wonderful story, which is the opening, like opening the passage. Yes. Do you know the story about the hamster when Krishna appeared like a hamster? Like a swan. You know the story? Who knows maybe this story when Krishna appeared like a swan? This is a very wonderful story. Really, it gives the passage through what we are like fighting every day. And it's very simple answer from the Krishna. We will go through it very simply, briefly, because it's really opening something very special. So, the story goes like this. One day, 4 Kumaras, everybody knows who 4 Kumaras? It's 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The chapter is called Hamsa Avatar Answers the Questions of 4 Kumaras. So, 4 Kumaras, they came in front of Lord Brahma, and they had a very specific question. They asked Lord Brahma, dear Father, because he's their father. They said, dear Father, please, how can we who desire to attain supreme perfection of yoga, so we desire all here, attain supreme perfection of process of spiritual yoga, but here. They said, how can we attain this supreme perfection when mind is constantly going into the world, and the world constantly going into mind? How to break through this constant mutual relation between the mind and objects of the world? And the Brahma was meditating, he wanted to answer the question, but he couldn't because he was totally absorbed in the creation. And he couldn't find the essence of the answer. And then he meditated on the Krishna very humbly. And then Krishna appeared like a swan. Yeah. This is very nice as a Brahma. You just praise the Krishna, Krishna appears. and solve all the problems. But definitely Krishna also appears to us immediately when we pray to him. We're like a fish. Like we mentioned last time, fish. We're a fish, but it's only water. Yes. Now, when we returned from Lithuania, Rice Festival, our car broke in the
Yes, 2 days before we had to go here, we had flight.
Yeah. Our car broke in Ljubljana, in Slovenia. And I was thinking, we need to go first to our town, then go to Pula, then to airport. No, and what to do, and then the police are coming, saying something, checking the instruments, everything, and I was still, why am this happening? How can I solve it? And actually, during the evening, till the evening, from the afternoon to the evening, I got all the answers. Actually, Krishna was sending devotees, and all the answers, so I knew everything was wrong with the car. But I was thinking, Krishna,
And you want to come, they check YouTube, search and they show.
But very actively, he did everything.
And I still complain.
Yes, and tomorrow I just needed to do this, what we found out that evening. So I got Kirtan, I actually came immediately. But at the moment I didn't notice. Probably Krishna sometimes enjoys the such a situation.
Okay, let's remember that just a day before the trip, he told me that he heard that it's a recent event, somewhere on Russian. And the main devil at the bottom was supposed to sing Kirtan in the evening, and it was such a rain that nobody came. And he's alone sitting there waiting for Milano play. So something later comes the Milano play, and they have wonderful Kirtan and everything, all of this.
This is in this ashram of Yunadov.
Ashram of Milano, yes. And then the next day, when he sees the Milano play, he says, "Oh, thank you so much, you came to support me." He's like, "I didn't come. I was not there, I was at home." What was around, So who came? Who came to accompany him on Milano? The Krishna is all around us.
Yeah, that's it. This Milano was totally next to you, all right? So, Krishna appeared like a hamsa, and when he appeared, Lord Brahma immediately offered obeisances. And poor Kumara was singing. And they was asking, "Who of Sanskrit means, who are you?" Of course, the child, as they say, they was not so intelligent because when they see their father, the authority, paying obeisances, they should also pay obeisances. But they were standing in amazement. "Who are you?" Probably to see swan with a crown, shining. It's not so usual. And when they asked, "Who are you?" he already knew the question about Krishna as Hamsa. Yes, he appeared like a swan because the special ability of the swan is described in this purport from Acharyas. The swan can separate from the mixture of water and milk. He can separate the milk. So similarly, he appeared to separate the pure consciousness from the polluted consciousness, so that we can understand the truth. So Krishna is genius, always. And so when they asked, "Who are you?" Lord Krishna said, "Do you think that we are all one? Oneness, there's behind this eyes, behind the body, there's nothing, there's all one. Then your question doesn't have any purpose. Why are you asking, who are you, if you think that we are all one? Absolutely. And if you ask me, who are you, and you think about the body, this is one very important thing, because the Acharya has mentioned, these are the two basic obstacles to understand further aspects of absolute truth. You think there's nothing behind the eyes, we're all one energy, but actually you're supposed to be very sensitive, very personal, because there's a burden inside. We should become very respectful. Yes. So Lord Krishna, this is one thing which we need to cut if we want to think supreme truth. We need to respect deeply everyone, to see the person behind the body. There's an exact individual, beautiful, the more irreplaceable personality. All of us, each of us. This is the one thing. Second thing, Lord Krishna said, if you ask me who am I, and you're thinking about the body, you should ask, who are you five? Because everybody is composed of the planetary elements. It's Jimmy. This body is composed of the planetary elements, so there's 5 things which are there. So you could ask, who are you five? So Krishna is very genius. So Lord Krishna, he said, because you don't look actually so intelligent, so you need to listen to me. And he said, all functions of the mind, this is very important. So we all have functions of the mind, this moment, isn't it? Thinking, feeling, noticing things of the senses, the functions of the mind. Then all functions of the senses touching, hearing, smelling, tasting. All functions of the words, vachasa, he said, of speaking, and all objects of the senses, objects of those senses, and objects of the mind, objects of the speech, so the world around, and all interactions between them, they are all me. So imagine this. Nothing besides me, what Krishna said. So we had such a great situation. But actually, he said functions of the mind, functions of the words, functions of the senses, all objects of the senses, everything that you see around, whatever it is. All interactions between these two, these are all me, what Krishna said. But this is very mystical. When we chant, we can try to understand this. Actually, how is this? Now, some glasses appear in your mind, and you think, oh, this could be Krishna, So, it's Krishna when we are able to learn from him. What I need to change for Krishna? Why is it here? Why are you giving this to my mind? What is happening? Like this. When we say, I am lasti, my last, this means we are always surrendered to the false ego. Concept of false ego. Aham mameti, what Krishna describes. So these are already, another aspect of false ego. But when you say, Krishna, why is this appearing? I'm independent personality, spiritual being, and I have this mind which I'm using now, I have this intellect, I have the body. Why not this is appearing in my mind? Okay, let's help me to understand what I need to learn, what I need to change in my mind. Why I have envy in my mind now? Why I feel like this or like that or that? But rather, we are becoming stuck with the fear. We become paralyzed, and we just... So, nothing is developing there. We just stay in the same position where we are. So therefore, this is also one of the reasons why we don't advance. We are paralyzed. Then, Lord Krishna, yes, he said this is the first thing. You need to understand that what all functions of the mind, of the speech, of the words, of the senses, all different senses, and their interactions between them, they're all me. So this is our part. We need to discover how is this, how to sit. And Lord Krishna finally came to the answer to the question of 4 Kumaras. How to attain supreme perfection when the world is coming into my mind, constantly, and the mind is constantly going into the world. Do you have sometimes this fight inside of you? This struggle to prevent mind to go to objects of the world and the world to enter into the mind.
Yes.
Sometimes. Raise your hand. Who notices in yourself this struggle, this fight? This, what is the word? Ancient, cute, the timeless, battle. But look what Krishna said. First he said because our senses and our mind are for many lives already engaged in the world. They're naturally, more strongly going into the world than the world into the mind. But actually, Lord Krishna said, they belong to each other. You cannot separate them. There is no purpose to try to separate the mind from the world, or the world from the mind, because they belong to each other. But rather, you should separate yourself from the mind and the world. So this is the answer of Krishna. And for the mind is totally happy, totally satisfied. And they got the answer to their question. So, yes.
Most of the time we try to separate the mind from sense objects. And we're actually a dangerous position because it makes us think that we are the mind. Like if I'm the mind and I'm trying to separate out these things which don't belong to me. But the mind, which is actually created out of more the goodness, which is a good thing. And it is a divine mechanism, a divine machine. It has its purpose and it works it well, it does it well. So, like here, Krishna says, we need to separate ourselves from the mind and the sense options. So when we chant the holy name, it's the easiest to do it when we chant, because we can observe and get experience. We can observe thoughts happening all the time, and especially what are thoughts? Thoughts are just memories coming to us from yesterday, day before yesterday, or even past lives. And when just if we can observe and accept the position of observer, I am observer because I see those things. It means that if I don't see them, it's me. It's I am that. But if I see this from the side, it means I'm something independent. And then we can get this practical experience of the Krishna states in this part, to separate ourselves from the mind and from the thought, which is happening in that moment. And actually, when we say to ourselves during meditation, drug meditation, for instance, I'm not this mind, I'm observing it. So they can function as they want, they can interact, because that's their purpose and their nature. They actually disappear. They stop to go there. It's a beautiful experience. Yes, or they just get through form. So with this comes inner satisfaction and comes peacefulness, which is so much desired.
But what do you think? Why we as a spiritual being, very powerful being actually, why we cannot cut this? What is it? Why we cannot understand this now? Really, we understand this intellectually, but to really understand this, to see yourself as a spiritual being, why we cannot do this? What do you think?
There's so much material condition.
Yeah, globally said, yeah. Yes. More precisely, what would it mean? Yes, we are too independent. Spiritually. Attachment? Definitely.
Maya.
Yes. But Maya is a servant. Maya is serving us actually, in some way. So, what we need to do to become free? Why we, like spirits, we cannot go out of it? We have all power because actually, what Krishna describes, soul is actually never in touch with matter. Never touched with matter. Never. In any position. Illusion plays a big role here because illusion Maya covered our knowledge. But it's covered that we cannot now see. Like when you're in a dream, no way you can remember who you are truly. No way. You think now you're totally someone else. But why is she covering?
Because we want to enjoy.
Yes, we have to like to enjoy it. Did you ever wake up from a dream? Because there was something interesting there. And you want to continue?
Yes.
Yes. Huh? But sometimes you feel like you sleep again. Yes, and not anymore so nice after. as it is when it's real. But when you try to improvise, it's not anymore nice. But this is only, there is one word which Krishna uses. He said, Sanikashana means voluntarily we surrender ourselves to the functions of the body and of the mind. So therefore we cannot awake, and he gives this example, like when we see so many different things in the dream, we become absorbed in them, so therefore we cannot wake up. Like when we want to wake up and something is interesting and we want to continue to sleep and to experience more. Yes. So, what do you think about this? It's our desire, definitely. When we desire, we get covered. But anyway, it's not our enjoyment. No? Yeah, possible. I mean, we already said, is this understandable? Well, who can say what is the problem?
But I was just thinking because also one thing that we identified is what you said is that
We don't try to separate the mind from the material world, because they were anyway attached. But we try to separate us from the mind by observing the mind. But will that observance create the detachment?
If Krishna wants, yes.
Or is it better to rely on praying to Krishna for that detachment?
But yes, we can pray. Definitely, but Krishna will give us guidance to understand this.
Like for attachment to the mantra, because if we really focus on the mantra, then we shouldn't keep the focus on the mind.
Yes, yes.
It's sometimes too many things to focus on during japa, because you get tips, oh, you should focus on this, focus on, instead of just, Prabhupada said, just listen.
Yeah, but that's the point. There is no point of focusing on anything. Because look, the soul is already eternally present now. One consciousness, not separated consciousness, nothing is there. Mind is separating, creating different thoughts, creating different conditions. You're never changed. You're unchangeable. So you can just observe. Because all changes that are happening, all focuses, they're just your objects of observation. You're conscious of them, of all changes, of all concepts, of all everything. So you don't need to do nothing, actually. There's you need to actually totally do nothing. Just need to see. But if we are identified with the mind, which has doubts, fears, all these things inside of it, so we can focus. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. I mean, we're not saying all, we're not all the same, so Krishna will give us this experience, different arrangements, different kinds of efforts. Someone will experience this through making garlands, in their own way. This is not so important. Like Chaitanya Prabhu said, he said, if you think in a way that this world is illusion, and you're just a soul, then you're going into big trouble. So this is just one small part of information. You're a spiritual being, the world is some kind of illusion, it's real, but it is like a dream, like hologram. And the Lord Krishna said, we are present in this body, like sun is present within the flesh and the water. So this is Krishna Prabhu. So this is wonderful. And he said, someone who thinks that the sun is present in the reflection of water is a foolish person. But actually the sun is present far in the sky. So similarly, the soul is present within the body, like sun is present in the reflection of water. So these are like some things that when we meditate in our way, Krishna will lead us, will guide us in our way to understand. How is this? How can I understand? But we need to think about it. We need to invest effort in chanting. If you're staying is the same, if you're nervous, cannot go about nervousness, about intolerance, about unsatisfaction. Then we need to put some extra effort which will help us to understand this a little bit more deeper. And Krishna will help us with that. So in this story about Hamsa, did you like that point? What Krishna said for Mars. It's a very beautiful, liberating point. We're fighting for years to separate the mind from the world, but it's actually can bring only illness, mental illness or emotional growth. Because you're trying to separate something what belongs to you. You cannot separate. Of course, we can purify the mind. We can purify relations between the mind or senses with the object of the senses with the world. But you can never separate the mind from the world because they belong to each other. But Lord Krishna said you can separate yourself from the mind, from the world. So this is very good. And by the praying and by the mercy of the Lord, definitely. I can say in my life, only thing what was working actually was the mercy of Guru Maharaj, devotees, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nothing else. This is only what is working really. But if you really do it, there must be a specific mood inside, specific attitude, so that they will make spark, that it will work. So if we don't do some efforts, it will not make spark, And after some years of repeating like this, we will think this is not working, or I'm worthless totally in a negative way. You know? And in this way, we will be disabled to really feel good, to really participate in this wonderful moment project, and you know, to sing with wow, with the full power, with full energy. You know? When you understand, you know, like Lord Krishna said, he said, the three modes of material nature, they reach only up to material intelligence. They never touch the soul, Lord Krishna said like this. So when you understand this, you know, I can sing Mahamata with full power to Krishna. I have a right to be with Krishna. You know. Actually, I don't have a right to be here. You know, it's wrong concept. I have a right to be with Krishna. You know, it's my position. I belong to Krishna. You know, after some time, you know, Vrishvasis, they say to Krishna, Mera giridhari Gopala, me teri tu mera. They sing, me teri, I'm yours, tu mera, you're mine. So there's nothing more beautiful what we can do. Open an heart to this degree that we can really say to Krishna, this is a full heart. You're mine, I'm yours. So, what do you think about this? We like to hear this, no? When someone says, whom you love, or you're in love with someone, this person tells you, I'm yours, you're mine. You will not talk to you. So we need to stop here slowly. I would just test. So in the story of Hamsa, they're going beyond the world, body and mind structure. Then, through this story, you can study it by yourself. You can read it in another chapter. Changing concepts. You know. Then, through this story, you're opening understanding who we truly are, what we need to actually do, not to make empty efforts. And we're reaching understanding really who we truly are. After making this very breakthrough through this all coverings, through this all obstacles. And eventually, like Lord Krishna, when he said its answer, we feel it's not so easy, isn't it? You know. And then you go more straightforward, you go more easily to understanding and thinking about who am I truly. So this is something I wanted to share with you today. Tomorrow we will go a little bit in speaking about love and development of love. And thank you very much. Hopefully everything was okay and clear.
Just repeat the words. Which word Krishna said that this separation? Which part of the 11th chapter? Which verse? Like, I mean, just don't research. Yeah, Krishna's verse exactly.
I will tell you tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry.
Words or the verse? Words.
Words.
How did he say?
But you can study all the chapter. I will tell you tomorrow the number, but you can study the chapter. Is that how Sadhguru answers the questions or commands. So this is the name of the chapter. But definitely, tomorrow I will bring it.
We fall asleep about the book. We were about to do it, but we were so tired after the trip, so we couldn't prepare. Yesterday we will do it during the day, so tomorrow we will get the answers. And the homework which you spoke about is the first part states about the breathing and the sitting. So any of your realizations you get during today you can share with everyone tomorrow. And the second part is about what Hamsa, Krishna from Hamsa, he said before Kumaras, so you separate yourself from the mind and the world. So if you will get any experiences today after you contemplating on those words of Krishna, you can share with us tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Shri Bhagavad Gita. Shri Prabhupada Ki. Shri Kirtan.
Yes. You can start. Thank you so much. You just press the stop and leave it just the way it is, and then we'll do the rest. Yeah, it's very dark.